Okay, let's try and have a 10-minute session looking over sessions. So notice at the top that you can filter via training, match and head builder, and that each part has filters for players, types, match has different formats, etc. And the head builder has different levels. So think about how you could use those parts as you move forward in terms of labeling them up. There's also a search function at the top for partial text recognition to find sessions that you're looking for if you name things appropriately. So I think the best way to get the principles around this is to add a head builder in, and we'll explore around this part. So obviously you can name it at the top, so you're giving it a name, and you can label them up. You can change these settings in the settings to what language you want to use as you build these. And I just want you to picture the head builder as being a flexible way of building a head, saving something that you can then use in coaching or just sharing and being question led with the players. So this is the 2D environment. You'll see how you can change the kind of size of the circles that you can see, and the actual diameter of the circles can be changed as well in terms of just toggling it to your view. And you can also flip the axis around, so you can change it based on whether you're behind the head or in front of it. So if we add our first delivery, you can move it around, add our second delivery. If you click on it on another bowl, you can try and do it and click on it once to try and grab it if you wanted to move it around the screen. You can say whether those deliveries are forehand or backhand, and you can also stand a bowl on its side. So if we had bowl 2, if it stood on its side, we can essentially make that line point towards the jack, so that gives you the orientation of which way the bowl is facing, and you can also tilt it. You can give it a little lean if you wanted to. So if we save that in, there's our first head builder kind of designed and built. So down the bottom there are some drawing tools, so we can click on and draw little arrows, circle tools. If you click on them multiple times, you get slightly different outputs, and we can undo those layers. The polygon tool is basically, if I clicked on multiple times, basically the double click is the final click. So if I do that again, click once, twice, 3 times, the double click is the terminal click. So that's what stamps down that shape. And again, you can go and have shaded, or you can go and have one that shades the outside. Change the colors and remove the names on the bowls. So lots of like little mini tools in there. If you have the Pro version, then you can get into the 3D view from here. So if I click on 3D in the bottom left, we open up or launch the 3D environment. We've got some controls at the bottom to rotate around the head. We've got the different controls to move height, distance. So lots of different things that you can do to get to a view that suits you in terms of having a little look around the environment. You can also change the presets. So if you click on the camera at the top, you'll see how you've got different presets that you can have a little play with. Map view in front to the side, the jack view. The walkthrough mode is just a kind of set path that goes through, walks you round, and then gives you the bird's eye view, and then you can scrub back through that part. That part actually exports as a video. So if you click on the video camera part at the top, you can export it as full resolution or ready as a 9:16. So if you wanted to share it on any social media. The other parts of this is if I just change the camera angle to another view, if I turn the gyroscope on, then now I can tilt and move my phone around to actually move around the screen as an alternative way to look around the head. You can also use gestures, so you can actually use pinch gestures with the two fingers if you wanted to. And if you use one finger on the screen, you can see how you've got a little highlighter that you can use as well. So if you were sharing your screen to a monitor, for example, you can highlight where you're looking on the screen. If I go back into 2D just quickly, if I did draw a shape in 2D, if I take it into 3D, the arrow will convert through. If I want to turn the shapes off, I can turn them off using that little toggle. If I want to take the lines off, the circles, I can use this tool at the top so I can clean it all up. If you want to draw more, so you could either draw in this environment or in the 3D environment. At the top, there is the draw tools. So if you click on the draw tools, you get the same palette of tools that you can still draw the same kind of shapes using the same rules in terms of circles and such. Just one more part that's maybe useful. If I just zoom in just a touch, if you click on the little measurement tool, if you click once on a bowl and then click on another bowl, so if I click on the blue one and then the jack, and I'll also click on the blue one and then the red one, so you can click on different bowls, or you can just click and drag on the screen and you can draw like more of an arbitrary distance. I'm just going to take the drawing tools back off so I get the camera controls back on. You can see how those little tape measures are kind of giving you an indication of distances depending on what you clicked on, just to give you a little bit of an insight if you wanted to use those tools. Again, I'm just going to go in and delete those lines off using the trash can. The laser tool does work in 2D. So if you click on the actual arrow, you've got a little red laser, so you can move around and highlight the screen where you wanted to highlight the area that you were trying to do. I'm going to just toggle back into 3D mode. There is a useful camera preset. So if you choose an angle you like, you can see the 1 and the 2 at the bottom of the screen. So if you take it to an angle that you think is a really default angle that you'd like to use more often, so you can set it to where you'd like it to be. So I'm going to set one just here. If I click and hold, save that preset, and now if I click on and say I want angle 2, we've gone back to the preset setting. I'm just going to put it to angle 1. And the next part, I just want you to look at the top where it says 2 of 2. So there's a little subtlety in this one. So if you toggle it and if it goes black, when you click on the arrow, the bowls just appear. If it's grey, when you play this back, it tries to give you a depiction of what that bowl might have looked like as a journey. So it's a kind of default bias. It'll come down a forehand or backhand side, and it'll try to give you an indication of some form of playback of that delivery. So a real subtlety, but if you don't want it to play back, you can toggle the little numbers on the inside. If you've spent a bit of time making this head builder, you can click in the top right hand corner and you can export the head builder as a JSON. So that would save, and you could share that with somebody else, and they would go through and import the head builder in their own device. So if you go back to sessions, click on plus, you can see there's an option to import the head builder. So if the head builder's on your phone in your files, or you can go back, find the file, that head builder JSON file, and import it in, so you can share them across devices. I'm just going to go back into add a head builder again. You can see that there's an option for assisted head builder. So this is intended as choosing images. So you might have an aerial view of the head that you want to use as a reference point. So it allows you to kind of start to make the head from another insight. I've actually made one out of a PowerPoint. So made a diagram, which I'll show you now, a diagram that you can then use to build the head. So you choose the image and it would then build the head for you. So you can see how it's detected the jack and the 2 red and 2 green bowls. The scale will come from the diameter of the jack. So that is a lot of the scaling is the PowerPoint I've used, which you can have access to, is the jack and the bowls are in scale to each other, which therefore should give you a distance that looks relative. We can add more deliveries in, so I could add another red and another green, and then I could build the head from there. And now we're back in the same environment that we were before. So an option, if you've got things like PowerPoint, you've got things you've already drawn, there are things in here that you might design them in PowerPoint, adapt them, and then create them back into this part so that you can then save them and bring them to life in the 3D environment. Okay, lots to think about, but hopefully a quick overview of this tool and a load of the things that we'll hand over into other environments that once we've got our familiarity around placing deliveries and controlling and exploring the 3D environment. While you're looking around the 3D environment, please also be aware that there are maybe some interactive parts within the environment. For example, if I click on the Highlight It Studio, I can go out and visit the Highlight It Studio website to find other tools that are available, such as the Highlight It Technique app that you might find useful. If you'd like to advertise here, feel free, visit the website, get in contact, and we can chat around whether you want your presence within the virtual rink